Most people think investing is all about picking the right stocks or timing the market, but to be honest with you guys, it is 90% mental. It is how you react when your portfolio is down 30% or when everybody online is chasing the next hype stock. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the psychology behind successful investing, why most people lose money even when they know what to do, and how emotions destroy your returns, as well as how to build the mindset that actually makes you wealthy long term. Because I truly believe that investing is like 50% discipline, 50% psychology, and your discipline will always be tested. But luckily, you can master the psychology of investing very quickly. So that's exactly what we're going to do in this video today. But before we get into it, comment down below, how do you usually react when your investments drop? Do you hold on tight? Do you buy more? Do you panic sell? What do you do? I'd love to hear, comment that down below, and let's jump right into it. So starting out with, why do most people lose money? Well, it's funny because most people think that the market is the enemy, but the reality is the enemy is yourself and it is your own behavior. There's quite a few studies out there that show that the average investor underperforms benchmark returns significantly because of timing mistakes and emotional reactions. In over a 30-year period ending in 2021, the average investor earned around 7.13% versus the S&P 500's 10.65%. And so the takeaway here is that good investing, it's not just about picking good assets, it's about sticking with them. Whether they go up or they go down, it is about sticking with it over a long period of time and not panicking or freaking out, which kind of leads into the next part here, and that is how emotions can destroy your returns. What a lot of investors do is that they put money in, and let's say that hypothetically the market drops. Then fear kicks in, and then you're going to sell. So they put in $1,000, all of a sudden the market drops 20% over the next year, and their 1,000 is now worth 800. They're going to sell and they freak out, right? And then they'll wait until the market starts doing well. They'll buy back in when the market is high, and then they get greedy and they're basically chasing. And so what they're doing is they're constantly flip-flopping. They're constantly buying here, selling here. They're trying to take quick returns. They're trying to avoid taking losses. Like, they're constantly just analyzing and being overly emotional. And the trick about being a good investor is actually doing almost nothing. And I believe Charlie Munger even said that one time, like, the hardest thing to do is to just sit on your hands and do nothing. Because when the market goes down and you see your portfolio dropping 10, 15, 20%, yeah, it can be pretty tough. But if you cannot panic sell and hold on tight and invest during these times, you're going to do very well long term. And there's also a few studies out there that show that selling during downturns, like when the market's dropping, that causes people to miss rebounds when the market starts doing well. And that's a major driver of underperformance. So for example, imagine that you buy an ETF like the S&P 500 after it's had a really big run up because you're excited, and then the next crash just makes you panic sell. All you're doing in there is just locking in your losses, and you're potentially missing the rebound for when the market comes back. It would be like if somebody started investing like January of 2020, and then the market tanks because of COVID. Between February of 2020 and March 2020, the market dropped like 30 something percent. And imagine the person sold in March and then didn't buy back in again until a lot later. Like, the market had a huge drop in 1 month, and then within a couple of months, it was on a great, crazy run. Like I said, the market had a big sell-off for 1 month, but if you just held on tight and were even buying, then you would have seen a really nice return over the next 12 months after that. So the psychology here that a lot of people have is that they're just reacting way too much out of fear, regret. They have a fear of missing out, like FOMO, or just a lot of overconfidence. And at the end of the day, controlling your behavior and emotion is one of the most important things. It's not about chasing hot stocks. It's about just controlling your emotions and having a plan that you stick to consistently. And so before I actually talk about developing a really good mindset to help you invest long term, I want to just give you guys a couple of stats about the S&P 500, because that is the main thing that I invest into. That is typically the benchmark that people compare themselves to. And if you can remind yourself of these stats, whether the market is doing good or bad, then it will help you stay the course. In the long-term performance of the S&P 500 can show you exactly what patience can achieve. And I'm not even saying you got to wait 20 or 30 years. Even a 5 to 10 year period, you can see some really good results. So the first stat here is that since 1957, the S&P 500 has delivered average annual returns of about 10% a year. And of course, that 10% is just an average. So some years the market might go up 20, 25%. Other years the market may go down 5, 10, 20, 30%. But on average, over a long period of time, it's typically around 10%. Sometimes you will hear people say 8%. That's because they're factoring a 2% inflation rate. But another couple of stats I wanted to give you guys is that it is very normal for the market to have sell-offs, meaning it's just going to drop for a certain period of time, and we all don't know how long that will be. So if we're looking at the magnitude and the frequency of these drops, we could see that, a 5 5% drop typically occurs about once a year. A 10% drop in the market occurs about once every 30 months, so a little bit over 2 years. A 15% drop occurs about once every 5 years, and a 20% drop occurs about once every 6 years, though it can be more frequent. So for example, earlier this year, we had the whole tariff sell-off, and I think that happened from like March and April of this year. The market sold off, I think it was about 10%, maybe 12%, but since then, it's been on a very consistent uptrend. And a lot of people say that the market's due for another correction or a big sell-off, but to be honest, nobody really knows. Nobody knows what the future entails. The reality of the situation is that we did have a big sell-off during COVID in March of 2020. Like I said, that was about like 34% kind of around there. And then we actually had another sell-off that I feel like people don't talk about for some reason, and that is from October of 2021 to October of 2022. The market dropped about, I want to say about 24%, so a little bit over 20%, but basically for a year there, it was not going up. It was just steadily downtrending. We didn't go into a huge recession or anything, but it was mainly due to inflation getting really high. So then the Federal Reserve increased interest rates, which then caused the market to sell off for about a year or so. But a lot of people ignore that one. They act like there was only the 2008 crash and the 2000s tech bubble. But again, it's very common for the market to have sell-offs that are 5%, 10%, even if it's 25 or 30%. Do not be surprised if this happens once every, 6 to 8 years, I would say. And so yes, there are years of loss, and there's long draws, and there's times where the market doesn't do well. But if you can invest consistently during those times, you're going to be lowering your average cost, which is a huge win. And over decades, the trend has been very positive. The S&P 500 has never had a negative 20-year period. And so the longer your time horizon is to invest, the better off that you are. So those are a couple of stats about the S&P 500. Now, how do we actually develop a win-win mindset? This is the way that I view the market, and it has helped me immensely, not only because I make more money, but because I don't stress at all. I really don't. I have no stress when I see the market do bad. A lot of people freak out, they panic. If you can develop this mindset, you will have a very stress-free way of investing that's going to build you a ton of wealth long term. So the win-win mindset here is that there's two things that can happen when you invest, okay? The first thing is that you put money in, let's say you buy the S&P 500, you buy VU, you buy an ETF, right? And that money goes up in value. So great, you invested $1,000, and by the end of that year, it is worth $1,100. You made 10% that year. That's awesome, right? And so you made money, so you know what? Keep investing. You're doing well. Why not? So that's option A. Or option B is that you put money in and the market goes down in value over time. So let's say you put that $1,000 in, and now the $1,000 is only worth $800, which, yeah, that may suck. You lost a little bit of money over the past year, but here's the thing that you have to think about. When the market goes down in value, you're buying something on a discount now. Like basically go look at the S&P 500. If it drops 20+%, what year does that take you back to? Like if you look at the price, if it drops 20% from today, what year is that equivalent to? So like right now the market is at $632 a share. If the market dropped 20%, that would be $505 a share, which is the same thing as getting basically in a time machine and going and buying the S&P 500 at July of 2024 prices. So you're buying an asset that normally goes up in value over time. You're buying that asset on a discount, which is a huge win to me. You're either going to invest money and it's going to go up in value, so you should invest more, or you invest money, it goes down in value, and you keep investing, you lower your average cost, and you're getting a really good asset on a discount. And the thing that's really funny to me about all of this is that as Americans, all of us love buying things. We love spending money. If you have a favorite pair of shoes that you want to buy and you see it go on a 25% discount, there's a good chance you're going to buy them, right? Same thing whether it's a watch or maybe a car or certain clothes, whatever that may be. But when it comes to the S&P 500, something that has a history of going up in value over a long period of time, when that goes on a discount, people don't buy more of it. They freak out, they panic sell, they don't know what to do. When in reality, all you have to do is just dollar cost average, which just means that you invest regularly. Like every time you get paid, you put a certain amount of money into the market and you just keep doing that and you build that discipline. And that will definitely reduce emotional decisions. And like I said before, if you keep the time horizon long, your advantage is time. It's not timing. So try to just stay in the market. At the end of the day, time in the market is better than timing the market. So quit telling people that you're going to start investing once the market drops and it goes on a discount. And then when it does go on a discount, you're going to say, oh, well, I'm going to wait until the market has a rebound. All you have to do is just invest super consistently, quit trying to time the market, and over a long period of time, you're going to have a lot of money. I promise you guys. Like I said, if you can develop this win-win mindset, the odds are going to be in your favor, especially if you have that long time horizon. And so a couple of things to wrap up here is that the real gap in investing, it's not strategy, it's actually behavior and mindset. Like I said before, the psychology of investing is honestly just such a huge factor. It's one of the biggest things that you have to consider. And with that, do not let your emotions derail your returns more than bad stocks or fees. You shouldn't even be paying fees. Just buy ETFs. You'll be good long term. Don't try to time the market and sell. Just invest consistently. It's really that simple. And like I said before, there's so much historical data out there that shows that if you invest long term, you're on the right side of the odds. odds. The people that are buying in the morning and selling in the afternoon, or they buy in June and sell in August, like those people are not going to do as good as just buying and holding over a long period of time. Sure, they may do better in the short term or medium term, but over a 5 to 10, 20-year period, definitely not. So try to adopt that win-win mindset. Every time you put money in, each dip that you see, each month of investing, all of this is progress. It's not panic. You're doing very well. So that is the psychology of investing, especially when you're in your 20s or your 30s. Your advantage is time. Use it and do not waste it by letting emotion run your wealth. That's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like down below. Hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.